Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Bob DeMaria. What I want to talk to you about today are oils. Now, oils are really important, and there's a lot of people that don't like to put oils in their body because they think it's going to make them fat, they're going to have a heart attack, or something's going to go on. But you know what? Oil's important for your brain. Your brain's made up of fat. Your body sends messages along a nerve called the myelin sheath. So that's how your body sends information. Now, there's a lot of different types of oils. I want to give you a brief understanding of the different ones that we use in our practice. Now, the main oils we're going to talk about today are the omega-6 and the omega-3 oils. I'm going to start by using and discussing the omega-3 oils. Now, there's two ways to make an omega-3 oil for the body. Number one, you eat food like green beans and walnuts and flax seeds. Those foods need to go through steps, and they become something called the long chain fat. One of the long chain fats is called EPA for heart. The other one is DHA for your brain. So let's go over this again. You can get food or you can get items to make omega-3 oils by going through steps, plant-based. These also need cofactors like B6, magnesium, and zinc, which, by the way, are taken out of the body when you eat sugar, food additives, a lot of dairy, or trans fat. So a lot of people watching me right now might have health issues because you're eating really good and you're really proud of yourself. But if you are eating walnuts and green beans, which is awesome, but you're still eating sugar, that sugar is going to sabotage your body's ability to make the long chain fat. EPA is heart, DHA is brain. Now, these fats go on to become something called a prostaglandin. Prostaglandins take away pain. So when you hear myself, Dr. Case, or Dr. Anthony talk about what you're eating, we know that most of you that are watching us right now are in the office. If you deviate from your diet, you could have chronic pain. That will not go away. Now, another way to make these or have these omega-3 fats in your body is from a direct marine source. We use in our practice Biomega 1000, Biomega 500. These are sourced from anchovies and sardines. You can say, why do they use that? Because they're smaller fish. They're not impacted by toxicity by maybe some of the larger fish. We're not telling you what fish to or not to use, but you really want to use fish from a pure source. Now, the Omega 1000 is basically 1,000 milligrams of oil. The Omega 500 is 500. You say, well, Dr. Bob, what's the difference between the two? Well, most of you should be taking at least one of these every day, but maybe you have digestive distress when you take one. You should start with maybe taking a 500. I think it's a good idea to take them before you go to bed at night, so in case you do have digestive distress, it might not bother you. I take these. I don't have digestive distress from these marine sourced oils. Now, I want to tell you the difference between plant and the marine source. These directly go into your body. There's no special steps, nothing needed with the B6, the zinc, or magnesium. A good thing to know is we can test you for your omega oils. We use the omega test. It's a very simple test. It's probably a really good thing to do if you have a history of anxiety, depression, or a family member that has Alzheimer's or dementia. And I wrote a book on ADHD, over 20 years ago. The rules don't change. So we could tell you if you're concerned that you might have Alzheimer's or dementia, you're going to want to do the omega test. And if your DHA level is low, let's just cut to the chase. If your DHA level is low, you're going to have some kind of a health challenge. On the other hand, the EPA is important for heart health. So we could have somebody that has high risk for heart health because they have low EPA. It's called eicosapentaenoic acid. EPA is for heart, DHA is for brain. When these oils are done in your body, they make something called a prostaglandin. Takes away pain. Just like when you use flax oil and it goes through steps, it helps take away pain also. So in the office, one of the flaxes that we use is from Omega Nutrition, great quality product. It has to go through steps. It needs B6, it needs magnesium. It's really good. Some people don't want to use marine oils, and I understand this. So flax oil is good. Might not be as effective, but it still is good if you're doing everything that you're supposed to do. We also have this in a liquid form. The liquid form needs to be refrigerated. I would take 2 or 3 of these every day. So flax is a precursor to make the long chain fat called EPA or DHA. Now, we're going to switch gears a little bit. There's something called an essential fatty acid. So essential fatty acids are the omega-3s, but they're also an oil called linolenic and linoleic acid. They're plant-based, and commonly these are omega-6 fats. Omega-6 fats are not bad fats, but we eat too many of them. Most people, if they're having snack foods, you start looking at labels. And if you're seeing safflower oil and sunflower oil and you have inflammation in your body, it's because you could have too many omega-6s in your body. We can check that also with the omega test. If you have too much omega-6 in your body, here's what happens. Both omega-3 and omega-6 fats take away inflammation. But if you consume too much of the omega-6 fats, safflower oil and sunflower oil, it can thin your blood too much. You say, it can? Yes. That's one of the reasons that people eat a lot of snack food. What happens is the metabolic pathway in the body, it flips over to another pathway to make something called arachidonic acid. You say, what is that all about? The arachidonic acid causes inflammation, but your body's trying to protect you. You say, why? Because you don't want to bleed to death. That's one of the reasons people eat so much omega-6 fats, so many snack foods, that they start having thick blood. That's why people start taking an aspirin. I talk about this in Dr. Bob's Trans Fat Survival Guide. Now, omega-6 oils, just like the omega-3 oils, become a prostaglandin. These oils become prostaglandin number 1. They also take away pain and inflammation. But remember, if you consume too many omega-6 oils like safflower oil and sunflower oil, you can have inflammation in your body. And I'm not trying to confuse you, I'm trying to make a point. Omega-3 oils, fish oil, flax oil precursors take away pain and inflammation. They help your heart and they help your brain. Omega-6, on the other hand, aren't necessarily designed to help your heart or your brain. Two different areas that I just wanted to make an important point on. Now, I know there are people that are watching and are plant eaters. You don't want anything to do with anything that comes from marine oil. Flax oil is good, and black currant seed oil is good. I actually take black currant seed myself once in a while because it's a great source of oils that does not come from an animal source. This is also good for kids that have eczema. This is also good for almost any type of a skin issue. Black currant seed oil. That's also good for hormones for people. So oils are really important. You might have pain and inflammation in your body. Your memory might be slipping. Maybe you're having hormonal issues. All could be reasons that you need to look at oil. I'm going to tell you right now, people who are on the no-fat, low-fat diet, they have some major health problems. There was a lady who wrote the foreword to my very first book. Her name was Ann Louise Gittleman. And I learned something from Ann Louise. I learned something from everybody. She said that people on a low-fat diet tend to have some major health problems down the road. And I understand this. I see it in our practice because you use oil for so many functions. So it's really significant. So thank you for paying attention. You may consider doing the omega test to find out your exact levels of oil in your body. I'm Dr. Bob DiMaria.